Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tribal Trade. So great to have you here joining the show wherever you're tuning in from around the world. I want to extend a warm welcome to you. If you haven't already had a chance to smash that like, please do so. This helps get the channel out to more people, get this educational content out to more people. All the comments and the questions I do really greatly appreciate. I look to get back to those as soon as I possibly can. So thank you for that. And if you haven't subscribed to join our ever-growing community already, we're already over 3,000 people, and we've just been going a little over a month. So I really appreciate all of that support. And of course, the Stocks with Josh fan, you can find me in the Discord with the rest of the Stocks with Josh crew. The link is below in the description, stockswithjosh.com. And I have a ton of great links below, which you can find helpful for your crypto journey. So today I'm going to talk about the 5 steps to success in crypto. And I want to talk about an article that I saw on Twitter. I thought this was really good. And it says market liquidity has remained almost unchanged over the last 3 years. That means there hasn't really been much new liquidity that has come into the market. Okay, so we haven't had much market liquidity coming over the last 3 years, but the altcoin count in 2021 was 50 times lower than it is now. So in 2021, liquidity was sufficient to cover almost the entire market, but 2024, there will likely only be enough liquidity to cover about a third of the market. That means 2/3 of the market are going to miss out. And you might be holding on to a bag that is truly dead, and you just may not get a pump. If you're lucky, you might get 1, 3 to 5x pump over this entire bull run. And this is the importance of, and this is the first thing that I'm going to say, is being in the right coins. Being in the right coins, because as you can see here, strong projects will start growing faster than others, offering potential for guaranteed significant profits. Look at the liquidity in 2021. Look at it compared to the count of altcoins. The liquidity almost covers all the altcoins. Now, we're not even close. So that there is a big issue there. So number one, you want to be in the right altcoins. Now, I have shared a very detailed video on this, and buying these alts, dumping these ones. That's probably a great video to have a look at. Also, check out my life-changing gains series, episodes 1 to 5 in particular, will give some good education and insight. And this, by the way, is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for education and entertainment purposes only, okay? And so it's very important for us to be in the right coins. Now, somebody posted in the Discord and they said, oh, what do you think about HBAR? And I said, have you looked at HBAR against the Bitcoin pairing? And they go, no, I haven't. And then a few minutes later, they come back and go, got it. Because people are starting to get it. Why be in a coin that is severely down against Bitcoin? Some of these coins have been down against Bitcoin since 2021. So which means Bitcoin has outperformed these altcoins. So then you would have made more money had you just been in Bitcoin than this other altcoin. And Bitcoin is going to survive and be around. We're not sure of the risk of said altcoins. Some of them are saying that they only have 1 or 2 years of liquidity left, and then they're going to run out of money. That's not going to be the case with Bitcoin. The safer asset, and you're in a riskier asset, and the riskier asset should bring greater returns. Otherwise, why are we in the riskier asset? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, because this is my five entries for success, my 5 points for success. 5. That's number one. Number one is being the right coins. Number two is to be in the right coins at the right time. You don't want to be buying a big bunch of a certain coin and then they have a massive token unlock the next week or the next month. So you want to know about news events, token unlocks, be following the Twitter page, be checking out Token Unlock's website, and be knowing what the right coins at the right time. And remember, being in right coins, we talk about the Bitcoin pair, but you also got to look at the fully diluted valuation. This is the main issue I had with XRP. Only about 50% of the tokens are out there right now. That means 50% of supply is being dumped on the market. They're dumping 1 billion tokens on the market every month for the next 4 years. That means you're selling your tokens. You're buying your tokens, they're selling theirs, and they're taking your liquidity. Okay, so I have a big problem with XRP and I have a big problem with the tokenomics. So for me, I'm not just looking against XRP and the Bitcoin pair, I'm looking at the tokenomics. I want to see tokenomics that are 100%, and we'll have a look at that in a moment in my cheat sheet, because we're going to go to my cheat sheet. The third thing is we need the right entries. And so if you watch my life-changing gains videos, I talk about the dollar cost average, HODL, and accumulate strategy. Please go back and watch those episodes 1 to 5, and I will teach around that. And so we want to make sure I have 5 entries. So we got 5 keys to success in this crypto market, which is the right coins. Number 2, the right coins at the right time. Number 3, the right entries. But within those right entries, I give you 5 entries on my cheat sheet and on my others sheet, which I'm slowly developing. Give me time, I'm going to get there. Okay, so dollar cost average is ideal, because if you spend $1,000 at a coin at $1 and then it drops to 50 cents, now you're 50% down. But if you have dollar cost average entries at lower support levels, or levels that I've identified for my cheat sheet that I feel are good buying levels, you can average out your price. And maybe if it drops to 50 cents, maybe your average entry is 60 cents or 70 cents, and it means you're going to be in profit quicker or back to break even a whole lot quicker. Number 4 is rebalancing the portfolio. There are some coins in my cheat sheet that may not stay on my cheat sheet. We might rotate those out, and we might rotate some of the other coins in. Okay, and just because a coin, more coins that I own that are not on my cheat sheet. Okay, so just because I have a cheat sheet doesn't mean that I don't have other coins that I own. I just want to keep that list as tight as I possibly can. Already it's grown a little bit, and we're close to 30 coins, and we may need to trim that back, or we may need to say, hey, that's it, we're just going to stick with that, and we'll add some to the others column as well. So just because it's not there doesn't mean that I don't think it's not a good investment or that the coin can't pump. But every so often we need to do an audit. Now is a good time to be in audit. While there's a big dump, you can look at saying, hey, what are some of those stronger coins? I can move some of those weaker coins, some of those weaker portfolios, cut those and roll those in. Now, some people are saying, oh no, I'm selling at a loss. I don't see it that way. The way that I see it personally is I'm just rotating that coin into a different coin. I'm rotating that into something else. Now, yes, that's going to be down because I might have had $1,000 there and now it's only worth $600. So I sold it at $400, but I rolled that into. So now I'm still $600, but I'm $400 down, but I'm in a different coin and I have a better chance of making up that loss and getting into profit, if that makes sense. So I hope you understand that. So that's number 4, the ability to audit and rotate and rebalance. And sometimes it's not about, you might be in the right 10 or so coins. And I would recommend not really being in any more than 10 to 20 coins, even though I'm in more than that. But some of those coins are very passive coins that are just sitting there with sell orders waiting to be sold. And so I'll rotate out of those at the right time. So I don't have to be actively engaged in those coins. So I really do think you want the ones that you're actively trading. I think you just want no more than 10 to 20 coins that you're actively trading on a daily, weekly basis, because I think more than that becomes difficult. Okay, so we want to have the right portfolio. And so somebody was saying in the Discord, they were looking at their portfolio, and I could see that they're quite heavy in certain coins, 5 coins that are quite heavy, but in the other 5 coins are a lot lighter. Yet the 5 coins that are a lot lighter have been outperforming the 5 that were a bit heavier. So if it was me, and again, not financial voice, but it was my portfolio, I would still stay in those 5 coins. Those 10 coins, I wouldn't sell out of any of those 10 coins. I thought they were all great 10 projects. But what I would have done is I would have rotated some of the liquidity out of the 5 projects that weren't performing as well into the 5 projects that were performing better, that were lighter. And so there's a rebalancing. So there's 2 ways to rebalance. One way to rebalance is by getting rid of some of these coins, like I did, got rid of XRP, got rid of DOT, got rid of Matic, okay, three coins I got rid of Shiba Inu, got those coins out, and I explain in other videos why. And then I will rotate those liquidity into stronger performing coins, and I've identified those on my crypto cheat sheet. We're going to go into my crypto cheat sheet in a minute. And the fifth one, before we go into my crypto cheat sheet, is to have the right exits. You've got to take profits on the way up. I was telling people to take profits when Bitcoin was hitting 73 and 72 and 70 and bumping heads on those price targets. And I myself went across my entire portfolio, no matter what kind of profit I was in, and I took all profits off the board because I saw a local top and I saw indicators. And I do go into that in life-changing gains. I believe it's episode 4 on how to identify local tops and local bottoms. So I really encourage you to look at those. Okay, so we're going to jump into my crypto cheat sheet here. If you're familiar with this, it's linked below in the description, and I update it regularly. I do need to put some big updates in here more so. But what we've got here is we've got the average. I've added an average entry column here, okay? And the average entry column is if you had bought Beam at these 5 levels since the end of May when I put this cheat sheet out, your average entry would be here at there. And for big time, your average entry would be there. For Ethereum, this would be your average entry, and so on down the list. Now, I haven't filled them all in for a couple of reasons. One, not all 5 have been hit. Now, if we get to a point where this is a local bottom, we bust out of here and we don't come back and not all the entries get filled, I will put this in. I'm looking at Toncoin. I'm not sure Toncoin's going to come back at this point. Are you going to come back? We have one entry, so we have an average entry here, about $6.40, $6.50. And so I am going to clean this up a little. This should help you, and you should do this in your own. You should have your own spreadsheet. Your own spreadsheet should have the token. You don't need to have the risk level or your rank. You should have the exchange that it sits on. You should have how much you put in. You should put how much you've taken out. And I will put a sample on here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a sample sheet of a Google Doc spreadsheet that I use on how to keep track of your crypto holdings. And also, I'll show you a little bit. We'll do that in an upcoming video as well, and I'll teach you on that. And sample sheet that I'm going to put on there will have how much you put in, how much profit you've taken out, and it should have your average entry in there so that you know what your average entry is. And then you should have listed the areas that you would wish to take profit, and then you'd set up those alerts on your phone. And when those alerts get hit, or you have buy orders set already, if your exchange has buy and sell orders that you can set up in advance and they just hit for you like I do as well. I've also added on here the fully diluted valuation. Anything is at 100 is great, 194, but anything that is lower than that is you need to look at when their next unlock is going to be. On some of these, of course, if it's 100, there is no unlock because all of the token supply is in circulation. This one here, it has a token unlock, I believe, coming in January 2025, for example. But I will slowly fill this in. You can see I have not gotten very far on this, and I am only just getting started with that, although I have filled in most of these. There is one other here that I need to fill in. So there's a few others I need to fill in. Anything that's all yellow, I will eventually get to. I started doing this morning, and I need to get this video out to you. All right, we've got all the take profit levels here. We also have a moon bag. Some have been asking about the moon bag. That's what I think will be the absolute top of this bull market. I have based it off Fibonacci's, but speculative in that, who has a crystal ball to really know how many of these numbers are going to get or hit or how close we're going to get to these. But it does give us a bit of a target. These are the targets I really want to be 90% out and only have 10% left. That's why it's called a moon bag, because just in case it keeps going. So we also have some take profits at 3x, 5x, 10x, 20x. So this is also where I look to take profits, and then I use my cheat code, Life Changing Games cheat code. And at that point, this goes out the window, this goes out the window, and I just start selling the bag, all of it, but I'll just take profits across the board, of course, in case it just keeps going. I've not found this cheat code to fail me yet. And so watch Life Changing Gains episode 4 for that. Okay, you're 5. I'm just going to recap that. You're 5. Be in the right coins. We look at the Bitcoin against the Bitcoin pairing. We look at the tokenomics. Okay, and so if I have these orange ones here, the orange ones are those are coins that are currently doing well against the Bitcoin pairing. So these are the ones I've identified that if you have weak coins, can rotate into that. So being in the right coins, but being in the right coins at the right time. So we want to make sure that we are aware that certain tokens that can put in you can have the whole altcoin or Bitcoin market and say, oh, I see a local top there, but you can also see this coin is topping out. It's massively oversold on the RSI. There's certain indicators, and I teach all that in my life-changing gains, and you can say, hey, it's time to actually sell out of this particular token or take profits in this particular token and rotate maybe that money into those profits into a different token, or just completely get out of this token and get back in at a lower price. I know many of you know how to do that in the Discord. You'll say, hey, I got out of this token and I'm going to buy it all back lower. And of course, if the token goes up, you roll the dice and it's a little bit of a gamble. That's why I prefer to actually just take profits and keep a bag, my HODL bag, and just keep that and just take profits on the way up. And I can actually take those profits and buy back that coin lower or rotate into other coins. So being in the right coins at the right time and learning to do that and learning to check out those token unlocks. This crypto cheat sheet, I believe, is going to help you do that. Number 3, being in the right entries. So making sure that you have the right entries here. I've given all these entries here and making sure that you split it up into $200 buys. So the way that I've done this is I based it off $1,000, just hypothetically, okay, or $100. It can be $20 a buy, but just to keep it a good round number. So let's just say you put $200 in here, $200 in here, $200 here, $200 here, $200 in there. Your average buy amount should be around about your middle entry. Now, so that's how that works. And then you look at Ethereum. I think Ethereum's sitting around 3,100. So, and your average entry is right around the middle, about 3,300 there as well. So having those 5 entries, splitting it up. So if you have $1,000 and you just want to buy one coin, you could go 200, 200, 200, 200, and now you've got your average dollar cost average price, so that when you start to move up, you get into profit a whole lot quicker and you haven't stuck. I know some other people go, oh, I'd rather buy 400 here, 100 here and 200 here and 300, 400 and 500 and whatever. But what happens when you do that with a coin like TON and you go, oh, I stuck in 100 here and these orders didn't get hit? I just like balancing it out. That's the way I do things. It's easy math for me as well. So I'm not going to be so concerned about having to work it out. But there are times, like if you only just started getting into the market now and you're just seeing my cheat sheet now, you might go, wow, I don't need to buy at these high levels. So now you could split it up into 3 buys. Okay, you could split it up into 300, 300, 400. You could go 2 buys, 500, 500. That's obviously a little bit more risky if we see a sharp drop down to 49K in Bitcoin, or 50K or 51K from where we are now, and we see alts keep getting punished or bled out. So certainly I think anywhere between 3 to 5 is ideal. Okay, 3 to 5 is ideal for depending on where we are, what the market is looking. Right now the market is looking quite bearish, and so in that reason you could be confident that we're close to a local bottom. And if we're not there, then we might just have a little bit more to go. And look, it's all risk. What if the bull market's over? What if some of these doom and glooms people are right? That is the risk of investment. That's the risk. And this is why this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is education and entertainment. This is what I'm doing. You don't have to do it. You don't have to follow. You can follow along if you want, but all investment is risk. And we must understand that there are some coins that aren't going to recover. There are some coins in your bag that aren't going to recover, and it may be good just to rip the Band-Aid off. The way that I've usually sold tokens and rotated into stronger tokens is by dollar cost averaging out of those tokens in case I sell them all and then they start to pump and I'm like, oh, I sold out of that right before it pumped. And that's the great fear of everybody. It's like, oh, I finally sold XRP and it did a 5X and I rotated it to another coin and it dropped. So this is why I will dollar cost average out of losing positions, number one, in case they pump. And number two, I will dollar cost average into. And usually, so I took my XRP holdings and I didn't put it into one coin. Because what if I put it into one coin? I sold XRP at 65. What if it goes to $1.50? Oh no. And then what if I put it into one coin, that coin drops? I rotated into about 5 or 6 stronger coins. And I was just fortunate that they all pumped. But what if 5 of them pump and 1 of them doesn't? So I spread my risk around. So there's a great way I find of rotating my coins around and rebalancing the portfolio. It's so important to do an audit. We audit our finances. We have a look at maybe some things we can cut back or some areas we can put more into this, whatever. Same thing with our crypto investments. We need to do an audit. We need to rebalance our portfolios and say, where can I move and what can I move into? Again, I've identified right now, as of today, of course, these orange ones are the ones that I am personally selling weaker tokens into these orange stronger tokens. Am I still buying these other tokens? Yes, I just bought some big time, I believe, at around the 7 cent mark. Okay, so I just added to that. So I'm still buying at these levels, dollar cost average, but I'm not using any of the weaker token money into some of these tokens that just aren't performing very strongly against Bitcoin right now. They have, at times, we have seen SAY and SUI perform very strongly. And if you look at SUI, if you'd been buying from $1.05, your average entry is 83 cents. And so we're sitting at about 68, 79, 70 cents. So we're not far away from our entry. And that is the beauty of the dollar cost average system. This is the beauty of making sure you have the right entry and dollar cost averaging in, rebalancing the portfolio, and then of course having the right exit. So that's how that works. And then have a profit taking strategy and making sure you're taking profits as the market pumps on the way up. And there you go. All right. Well, I hope that helped you today. I really wanted to get something out there so that you could understand my thought process, because there has been a ton of discussion on my YouTube channel in the comments and the questions, and also a ton of discussion in the Discord channel around rotating coins, rebalancing, being in the right coins, checking at the Bitcoin pairing, checking the tokenomics, checking the token unlocks, and the possibility of rotating weaker tokens into the stronger tokens. Because remember, if we go back, and I'm going to finish here, this is a sobering image, and I want this to be burned upon you here, that there right now, unless new liquidity enters the market, and I'm sure there will, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to make up this gap. There will be some altcoins, possibly some altcoins in your bag that are just dead. They are never going to pump. And there are some altcoins that will pump, and they will just pump once for a few weeks, and they're not going to pump much. And you've held all that liquidity in this entire bull market in those altcoins and missed all those opportunities. It's not just the fact. There's going to be people that are like, oh, you sold all your XRP. You missed out on 5x gains. Oh my gosh, XRP might pump the last month of this bull run. I haven't missed out on any gains because I took that XRP and I put it into good performing tokens. They all 5-10x'd already, number one. And then number two, I've been able to use that money to keep growing my portfolio rather than just sitting there dead. Because it's not just the fact that your coin is down, it's the fact that you're not using that liquidity and you're missing other opportunities. There are many people saying, oh, I can't buy the dip, or I can't buy this. Yeah, because your coins are down, because you're holding on to too many dead horses. You're holding on to too many dead bags. And that has now created an issue for you, a liquidity issue. And so there are a lot of trapped traders in here, okay? And this liquidity, this gap is bigger because liquidity that is in there, too much of it is trapped in underperforming tokens like XRP, like Matic, like Polkadot, like Shiba Inu. And look, can some of these coins break out and come alive? Yes. Will these coins all have some kind of pump in this bull market? I believe they will. Okay, but when and what opportunities are you missing out of in the meantime? Remember, you can always get back into those coins at some point. I can always get back into XRP and buy it way lower than what I sold it. I can get back into Polkadot and buy it back way lower than I sold it. Same with Matic, same with Shiba Inu if I need to. And the list goes on. Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, HBAR, so many of these legacy coins. Tezos, I was asked that the other day. Some of these are creating new lower lows against the Bitcoin pairing. And so really be aware of that. It's not just the fact that, XRP did a 3 or a 5x eventually in this bull run. How much opportunity have you missed out waiting for that to happen, and is it worth it? Only you can decide. This is your portfolio. You have to decide what works best for you. I'm just here to share what I'm doing, and I hope this education is helpful for you. All right, well, thank you again for joining, and until the next video, happy trading.